Our first item for individual consideration, I'm sorry, Wendy, I know you got up, but we're doing item 7K first. Consider action approving an amendment to ordinance, to amending ordinance number 023-23, updating and amending the early voting hours for both Dallas County elections and Rockwell County elections for the November 7, 2023 special election. Council, I did not intend to pull this item until probably 15 minutes before we sat down here tonight. I was made aware of a issue with this ordinance, and this is due, again, to a last-minute catch on an issue with the proposed agreement with Dallas County Election Services. On August 15th, Council, if you'll recall, the City Council approved an ordinance ordering a special election to fill vacated Place 1. In this ordinance, the location for early voting was to occur at the City Hall Annex building, which is where it has always occurred. The approved ordinance had to come back to Council for the specifically stated reason in our packet. Quote, Dallas County Elections Department staff has requested the times be changed for Saturday, October 28, 2023 to 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. instead of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Since the approval of the original ordinance on August 15th, staff has received the dates and times for early voting from the Rockwell County Elections Department, which will be incorporated in this amendment as well. That's no problem. Easy, right? Well, there was something I was made aware of. This forgot to mention that a major change from the previous approved amendment, which is that this proposed ordinance now changes the location for early voting, which says it's to occur at Freedom Place Church. This would have been the first time the city would have conducted early voting at Freedom Place Church, or any church for that matter. In my opinion, voting should always occur in a place of neutrality, and that place is at their city hall. With that, I will absolutely deny this item. I will vote against it. I hope that there's an amendment to this item to move it back to City Hall Annex where voting belongs. Council, are there any other questions or comments? With that, I'll entertain a motion. Is this a motion? Okay. Councilmember Britton?
How did we arrive at Freedom Place Church?
I have no clue. And I have asked, and it's not very clear on where this occurred, but believe me, we will get to the bottom of it. Berman?
I don't have a clear answer to that question just yet, but we have an elections contract with the county, where the county will administer our elections. They typically designate what the early voting polling places are supposed to be. This information didn't come from us internally, it came from the county, and it was a last-minute change that came across my desk last Thursday as a last-minute revision. So in the meantime, I think we're going to try to figure out exactly why the county changed it from the annex building to a church across the street.
Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Wingett?
Do we need to get clarity from Dallas County before we approve an ordinance tonight, whether it's this ordinance or some amended version of it?
No, we need to get this ordinance done. We have deadlines for notices and things like that. We need to get this done and taken care of, then we can work out the details with the county later on. But we do have some influence, because we have done this in the past, some influence over where the county actually designates the voting location. So we will insist that they change it to the one in our ordinance if it's changed back to the annex building.
It will be changed. Yes, sir, it will. Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Wingett?
All right, Mayor, if you're entertaining a motion, then I would very much be in favor of having this at the annex building where we've had it in the past. I think the city is much more capable of handling the voting situation there. We have the signage and necessary boundaries set up to restrict electioneering around the polling site. It's where everyone is comfortable voting, because that's where we've held our elections for quite a while now. So I would like to make a motion that we approve the ordinance as read with one change, and that would be that the Dallas County early voting location in Section 3 of the ordinance be corrected to say the City Hall Annex Building at 4004 Main Street, Rowlett, Texas.
Is there a second? Mayor Pro Tem Schinder?
Second that motion.
All right, any discussion? Councilmember Britton?
Just one point of clarification, Mayor. In your words, and I get why we're going to have it at the City Hall, but to imply that there would be partiality anywhere else besides City Hall is not correct, because they are run, the elections is run by Dallas County. So whether it's in Freedom Place or here, if it was in Freedom Place, there's no chance that there would be any kind of partiality or anything like that going on in that church, because it's not run by Freedom Place Church, it's just a location.
With all due respect, I disagree. Just like somebody wouldn't want to go to vote inside of a mosque, some people don't want to go vote inside of a church. I mean, it's that simple. Some people don't feel comfortable that way. I would feel comfortable. It's not me. But my job is to represent everybody. And if I'm representing everybody and their participation in democracy, I certainly don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable or unwanted. And City Hall is a place where the citizens can come to at any time, and it is a place of neutrality. There's no partisanship or anything religious, nothing of that happening in this building. It's a place where people come to pay their taxes and come to meet with their members of council and staff. I would say in any government building would be a place of neutrality, but in any church, no matter what church it is, any place like that, I think that it is a disservice to our citizens to force them to vote in any place like that, especially when we have the space here to do it. As where this last minute change came up from, I have no idea. Believe me, I'm going to find out and figure out what happened here, because it's I don't appreciate being caught off guard. I don't appreciate the last minute change without notice. This kind of slight attempt to get something through council, I do not appreciate. I don't know if it was intentional, but we'll find out. Any other discussion? Seeing none, call the vote.